Now we're going to get into the heart of the project management framework as defined by the PMBOK. In this presentation, we will describe processes, process groups, and knowledge areas that make up the PMI framework for project management. Please note that process groups are known as domains in the PMP exam content outline. The first thing to ask is, what is a process? A process is a systematic series of activities directed toward causing an end result. So we start with inputs that are the raw materials for the process. Then we apply tools and techniques to transform the inputs into outputs. The outputs are the deliverables for the project, such as a product, service, or result. The project management processes apply to all projects in all industries. That is, they are universal. There is a logical relationship between the inputs and the outputs. In addition, the output of one process may become the input to another process. So inputs and outputs also connect the different processes. In the PMI framework, there are 49 different processes, and each is defined by a unique combination of its inputs, tools and techniques, and outputs. These are referred to as ITTOs. The processes may take place sequentially or overlap or happen simultaneously. Some of the processes occur only once or at specific predetermined times. Other processes recur periodically as needed, and some processes basically run continuously. For example, in monitoring and controlling, that happens continuously throughout the project. So all of the monitoring and controlling processes are continuous. This also describes processes within an adaptive life cycle, or if you are utilizing something called rolling wave planning. Each of the processes fits into categories called process groups, otherwise known as domains. A process group is a logical grouping of project management processes to achieve specific project objectives. The project groups are not project phases, but they underline the project phases. They are roughly sequential, but they overlap and iterate. That's what makes the process groups different from the phases. There are 5 process groups: initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. Throughout the process groups, you'll be generating and managing a variety of information. During initiating, you create the project charter. During planning, you create the project management plan. During the executing processes, you will be recording work performance data. This is basically raw information about the project performance. The work performance data is fed into the monitoring and controlling processes. Here you're adding more techniques to combine, analyze, and interpret the raw data. This gives an overview, shows patterns and trends, and a context so that now you have work performance information. The work performance information is actionable and the basis for decision making. The work performance information is communicated in reports, and the reports are distributed according to the communication plan for the project. In addition to the process groups, each individual process belongs to a knowledge area. So this is another way to categorize the processes. A knowledge area is an identified area of project management defined by its knowledge requirements. So there's an interaction between the knowledge areas and the process groups that defines the project management processes. For the knowledge areas, they're referred to as the project knowledge area management. The 10 knowledge areas are integration, scope, schedule, cost, quality, resource, communications, risk, procurement, and stakeholder. So on the PMP exam, you have to know all of the processes. The PMBOK organizes the processes using the knowledge areas, and this is the same structure that most other PMP prep courses and materials use. But here at PMO Advisory, we're taking a different approach. We use the process groups to organize the process content, and this is in order to emphasize the project management life cycle. We think that putting the processes in the context of the project management life cycle makes it easier to learn the information. So we are presenting the natural order of the relationships and iterations between processes. This will help you with both the practice of project management and the PMP exam. In this presentation, we talked about the PMI framework that consists of processes, process groups, and knowledge areas.